Hello and welcome to your vision board workshop. Whether you are with me live or you are watching on the replay, thank you for investing this time and energy with me. I've got so much good stuff to bring to you in the next kind of 45 to 60 minutes to really help you understand more about vision boards, but also more about manifesting, the law of attraction, and your part in the process. So if this is the first time we have worked together, then a really big welcome. I'm Emma Kate Dawson. I'm a success coach, EFT practitioner, and author, and my mission is to help women believe in themselves so they can manifest their ideal life and business. And that is part of what we are doing today. I know there's a lot of misconceptions around vision boards. I myself have been to vision board workshops in the past, which have, quite frankly, made me want to never create a vision board ever again. They've been long-winded, drawn out, and just not very exciting. So my hope is that by the end of our time together today, you will feel energized and excited to create a vision board that is a really accurate reflection of the life and business that you want to create, something that you can use as a blueprint, and that's going to create those all-important energetic shifts and get you into inspired action. Okay, so let's start with a real quick kind of overview of the law of attraction and manifesting. So if you're here, then manifesting is probably not a new concept to you at all. But let's just dive in to the basics. Hang on one second, there we go. The law of attraction is really simple. Hi, Emily, lovely. The law of attraction is really simple. Like is attracted unto itself. So what you are trying to manifest is energy, and you are energy. So what you want to call in, you need to be a vibrational match for. Once you vibrationally match what you desire, it will come to you. The law of attraction is that simple. What does it mean to vibrationally match to something? Because again, that's one of the things you hear about. You have to align with it, and it can be a bit like, yeah, but what does that actually mean, Emma? What am I supposed to do? What it means is you have to think, feel, and act as though that is already part of your reality. It has to feel possible for you. It has to feel available to you. You have to feel worthy of it. You have to feel enough for it. And you have to feel that it's safe, that you deserve it, and all of that kind of goodness. It's all of that mindset and energy that makes you a vibrational match for what you desire. So let's talk about why vision boards work at all. And there's a couple of reasons why they're a really powerful manifesting tool. The first is that it helps you set a really clear intention of what you desire. The more specific you can be about what you want, about how that looks and feels for you, the more focus you have around it, the quicker the universe can deliver it to you. The universe loves specificity. So the more specific you can be with what you want, the more easily you can attract it. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is to say things like really wishy-washy things like, I just want some more money. Well, that's great. You might go out and find a penny in the street and the universe is like, tick, job done. And you're like, well, that's not quite what I had in mind. I was thinking more along the £1 million lottery win. But you just said more money. So in has flown some more money. So a vision board is great because it's a really good tool to help you get specific on the desires. And leading on from that, it can help to keep you focused on those desires as well. So by having it somewhere that you see it, you're constantly looking at it, it brings that to your mind. It brings those images of the things that you desire into your mind, which can help you vibrationally match to it, which can help you align to it. But that does lead us on to the first reason why a vision board might not have worked from you in the past. If you create this beautiful vision board and you stick it up on the wall or wherever, but every time you walk past it, what you're feeling, either consciously or subconsciously, is like, yeah, but how's that ever going to happen? Or that's too big, or I'm not sure I deserve that, or I don't think that would be safe for me, or who am I to ask for whatever it is you've popped on your vision board, then that's what you are going to manifest. Because what a lot of people don't realize is you don't manifest what's in your conscious thought, you're manifesting your subconscious thought patterns. So if underneath the surface you have hidden resistance to, let's use the million, and it said dollars then. So used to listening to American things, the £1 million example, right? If you would love to manifest £1 million, you pop that on your vision board, and consciously, you know that actually that would enhance your life in, I know I said in a million ways, in literally in a million ways. It would take your life to the next level. Consciously, you're really super excited about it. But subconsciously, you have lots of resistance around what it means to have that amount of money. Maybe it wouldn't feel safe for you. Maybe you would worry that actually you would get it and just spend it all really quickly and end up in a worse place. Maybe you have like contradictory views about what it means to have that much money. What does it mean to be a rich person? What does it mean to be a millionaire? What would it mean about you if you were a millionaire? So subconsciously, you're not going to let that in. You're not going to be able to align with it. So whilst consciously you're looking at it thinking, yeah, that would be amazing, every time you're looking at it, subconsciously it's bringing up all of this resistance, and that's what you're manifesting. You're then manifesting more of the resistance. So that looks like, again, it would look different, but this is where you can end up manifesting the opposite of what you desire, because you're in that place of wanting money. So you manifest things like unexpected bills or parking fines or punctures in, like, you know, all these things. You know, you start to manifest more situations where you can want money, where you can stay in a position of lack because that's what's familiar to you. Like, don't underestimate your subconscious mind's desire to keep you in the familiar. It likes what's familiar. That's where it wants to keep you. And it's very good at doing that with lots of different tools. So this is the first reason why vision board might not have worked for you in the past. If you have deeply held resistance that you might not be aware of. So every time you're looking at your vision board, while you think you're focused and setting the intention, what you're actually doing is like reinforcing the resistance that maybe it's not possible for you. And the second reason why often vision boards don't work is you just stop noticing it. Like, have you ever had this situation? And like, my ex-husband was rubbish at doing stuff in the house. Like, I mean, properly rubbish. We went on holiday once and came back, and our suitcases, and I forgot the word then, suitcases needed to go up into the loft. We didn't have a loft ladder. I couldn't get up there. He was taller than me. He could. So I left it in the hallway with a, please, can you put that in the loft? And he didn't, because he was rubbish. Well, after a while, you just stop noticing that it's there. And it wasn't until somebody came round, like about a month after we'd been on holiday, and was like, oh, are you guys going away again? And we were like, no, like, your suitcase is still out. And you're like, oh yeah, just stopped noticing that it was there. It's the same. It can be the same with your vision board. It only is really going to work for you if, when you look at it, it helps you to align your energy. It helps you to shift into that place of having and knowing, faith, certainty. It brings up those feelings of joy, of excitement, of, I cannot wait for this to manifest. You know, that sort of energy. If it gets somewhere and you don't see it, or it just ends up in a corner gathering dust, then it's not going to have the same kind of magnetic power for you. So those are the two main reasons why vision boards don't work. And the other reason is that people just don't bother to create one. And like I said, if you've been to like a vision board workshop in the past and I've been to them where people are like, right, you need to divide it up like this and put this around the edge and put it here and here and here. And if you don't do it exactly like this, then it's never going to work for you. I believe that you are all immensely intelligent, creative women who really don't need me to say to you, cut this picture out in this shape and stick it here. Your innate creativity will lead you to create a vision board or vision boards that are a direct reflection of you, of your desire, of the life that you are dreaming of creating. And I am going to share some little tips towards the end of the workshop on how you can really increase the magnetism of your vision board and some ways that you can avoid that create and forget effect that sometimes they have as well. Okay, so the first step, let me just check I've covered everything. I have actually made some notes today. Now, if you've worked with me, if you've done any workshops with me in the past, you'll know that if I ever make notes, I always go off on huge tangents anyway, but I did want to make sure that I covered everything that I said we would be doing today. Okay, so we've done that. Okay, so let's get into, and there are 6 steps I've written down to creating a vision board. Now, again, don't worry, don't have to follow them in order. It's just a kind of guide to help you through. So step 1 is to get that clarity on what you're actually desiring. And this can be the biggest block for lots of women. We are really used to putting everybody else's desires first, everybody else's needs first. Add into that, like I said, if you've got any resistance to what it means to have more, to be richer, to have a certain sort of relationship, to live in a certain house, then already you can have resistance around even knowing what it is that you desire. So there's 2 things I'm going to suggest. If you, when you signed up, if you took advantage of the offer to get the Reconnect to Soul workshop, there's a whole host of things in there that are going to help you to get that that clarity. But one of my favorite tools is to go and do your ideal day. Now, I get more questions about this ideal day exercise than anything else ever. So if you've got my journal, you'll know it's in there. I think it might be day 2. And so many people reach out to me and they're like, I've got your book and I don't know what to do. I'm in a real panic. So let's address that right now. And again, it just shows the resistance that we have to being able to let ourselves go and dream bigger. And that's really what this ideal day exercise is. First of all, know, please, that you can't do this wrong. Okay, you can't mess it up. Even if you do one and then you look at it and think, oh, God, is that really my ideal day? Don't worry. It doesn't mean that you're now automatically going to manifest that now and you can never change it. If you've done it once, it's not set in stone. Allow this to become a process for you, knowing that the more you do it, the more you pay attention to what you're writing and how it feels, what you've written feels, then you can allow yourself to expand and to go bigger. So I did this exercise once with a client and she came back to me and she said, okay, so ideal day, I'd like to get up at 6 a.m. and do some housework. I was like, okay, really? Like money, time, complete freedom, and your ideal day is to get up at 6 a.m. and do some housework. And she laughed at me and said, actually, no. And then had a whole list of reasons why that needed to be done. And I think it's a perfect example of where we need to start to let go of some of the constraints that we've put around ourselves and our dreams. Again, people say to me, should I include my job that I do? Should I include the school run? Should I include, anything else that's already part of your day? And the answer is always, if you would love that to be part of your life going forward, then include it. So for a little while, I wondered, did I want to homeschool my girls? Then the pandemic hit and we experienced homeschooling and we all decided, no. That just wasn't going to be part of our family future at all. So now for me, that's been a brilliant exercise in creating that clarity that actually I'm quite happy to include the school drop off and pick up in my ideal day. In my ideal day, my husband does about half of them. I love being there sometimes to pick up, to have that chat around the day, all of that kind of thing. But again, it's nice to have that flexibility of knowing it doesn't have to be me every single day. And this then leads us on to the next point of this exercise. So then it's like, okay, so for me, I'd like my husband to be doing those some of those school drop-offs and pickups. So what does that mean? That means he needs to either not be working or he needs more flexibility in his work. So what does that mean? That means that I then need to take over the position of being the main breadwinner so he has more flexibility. Okay, so what does that mean? That means actually my income needs to be sort of £10,000 to £20,000 a month. So you see how just writing that one bit in the ideal day of, I would quite like my ideal days for my husband to, let's say, maybe do the school pickup, then starts to lead you down the path of, okay, what does that actually look like? What does that actually mean? What needs to be in place for that to happen? So this is where I say to people, really get rid of these constraints that you have. Allow yourself to dive into those ideal day things and then almost pick it back apart and see what does that actually look like. So again, for me, part of my ideal day was to be able to do like yoga in the morning. So, in my mind's eye, I imagine myself in some kind of yoga retreat somewhere, doing it, on some lovely beach, sunrise, all of that kind of business, That's the dream. I would absolutely love to experience that. But right now, in life as it is today, I can still experience that, doing yoga or doing some form of exercise first thing in the morning so that, my body is getting stronger and my energy is in a good place for the day. So there's ways to take your ideal day and start to incorporate them into your life now. And then there's ways from this ideal day exercise to decide on the things that you want to put on your vision board. So even if you've done this exercise before, even if you're like, oh, you're telling me to do that again, are you, Emma? Righto. Dive into it again. Write it all out. Go back and look at it again. Read it yourself. Really think about the energy behind that. Does that excite you? Does that make you think, oh, I would love to do that every single day? Or are you like, oh, that's in the category of should be doings? If anything falls into that category of should be doings, change it. What would really feel expansive? What would feel so freeing, so joyful, so exciting that you would just wake up in the morning and think, oh, I get to do whatever? Because I can guarantee for the vast majority of people, it's not probably starting their day with housework. So, go through your ideal day and really start to pick out the things that you want to include on your vision board. Again, think about, where do you want to wake up? Who do you want to wake up with? How do you want to start your day off? What work do you want to be doing? Do you want to be doing any work? Or actually, would you like to have a completely passive or semi-passive income coming in? Would you love to wake up and look at your phone and see that you've received money overnight while you were sleeping? Would you like to have the ability to go off and do whatever? Really allow yourself to be free. And if this is bringing up resistance for you, know that is normal. And like I said, this can be a process. Please don't feel like you have to get it right the first time of asking. We are in layers, whether that's layers for often finding what we desire, or whether that is layers of resistance that we need to clear. The more you do these things, the more you connect, the more you allow yourself to expand, the easier it is to get that clarity on your soul desires. And the more your vision board is an authentic representation of your true desires rather than a list of should be's or this is what I think it means to be successful for me, the easier it will be for you to align with something and then receive it. It's really hard to energetically align with something that isn't an authentic desire for you. This is, again, why a lot of people struggle to manifest things that they think they should be manifesting, but actually it's not really a soul desire for them. They've just been too afraid to connect with what is actually those soul desires. Okay, so that's step one. Get clarity on what you actually desire. And step two, before we create the vision board, let's clear some of that resistance that's come up for you. So let's go back to our £1 million example. You know that's what you want. It feels exciting. Yes, you want to manifest £1 million. Is there any resistance that you are aware of? A lot of people think that to be able to manifest, you need to be thinking positively all the time. But actually, that can be quite toxic. And you might have heard of the expression toxic positivity, which basically means that you're trying to just be positive all the time. And even when you face challenges or struggles or things feel difficult, you almost have to put on this facade of positivity in that it'll all be all right kind of a way. And the reason that that doesn't work is because it's like trying to wallpaper over a crack in the wall. It doesn't matter how pretty and nice the wallpaper is, that crack is still going to break that wallpaper apart and shine back through. And it's exactly the same when it comes to any resistance that you might have. Remember, most of the resistance, if you're not aware of it, it's going to be on a subconscious level, but there will be a certain amount that you will be aware of. So if I said to you right now, put £1 million on your vision board, you'll probably put it on there, probably looking at it thinking, yeah, but how's that ever going to happen? Or, oh, that feels like a really big step from where I am right now. Nope, that, so you already kind of know some of the resistance you have around it. So before you create the vision board, clear some of that resistance. Now, personally, I love to use EFT for this. If you're new to tapping, it's such a powerful and yet immensely simple tool that you can use yourself. This is why I love it, because I can teach my clients how to use it. You can't, again, I love things that you can't get wrong because then you don't feel you need to be perfect. You can't get it wrong, you can't do any harm with it, and it's really, really simple. So there are various different tapping points, which are the energy meridian points, and you just tap through the resistance that is coming up for you. And what that does is it helps you to release it on an energetic level. It helps you to release it on a subconscious level. Now, I love tapping because I think it's a great way to release resistance. It's also a great way to tap in new empowering beliefs, but it's also a great way to find resistance as well. Often when you start tapping on what you know, other stuff will come up for you as well. So we always start here on the karate chop point. And you would normally start with what's called a setup phrase. So for our £1 million example, now I've done this before in a workshop and I was using the example of £3,000 and I manifested £3,000 unexpectedly 3 days later. So if £1 million shows up for me over the weekend, I'll let you all know. So you start here with a setup phrase, something along the lines of, let's say it feels completely unrealistic for you. So even though it feels completely unrealistic for me to manifest £1 million, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And we always say that bit, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Because what you're doing is you're recognizing that, yes, you have this resistance, but even though you have this resistance or this issue, you still deeply and completely love and accept yourself. And self-love and self-acceptance are huge and massively important when it comes to manifesting and the law of attraction, because do you remember what I said right at the beginning? You can't manifest something if it doesn't feel safe for you, if you don't feel worthy of it, or if you don't feel deserving of it. So a huge amount of the work that I do is in helping women to feel worthy and deserving and believe in themselves. So that's why we say this setup phrase. You can add other words in there as well. So You can forgive yourself. Again, forgiveness is a huge tool to help you release resistance, that kind of forgiveness energy. So you could say, even though it feels unrealistic for me to believe I can manifest £1 million, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I'm not sure it would ever be possible for me to manifest £1 million, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. And then you just go through the tapping points. So the first one here, I can never remember the proper names for all of them, top of the eyebrow. And as you're going through the tapping points, so you can follow a script. So one of the things I do for the people in my group coaching program is to provide them with guided tapping scripts, but you can also just say what comes up for you in the moment. So you might say something like, feels really unrealistic for me to manifest £1 million. And you move to this point here, just on the eye socket. That would never happen for me. Go underneath the eye. It's way too big. Just here, I can never remember what this point's called. It's got a really funny name, hasn't it? I don't deserve that. Onto the chin. That's way too much for me. Then go to the collarbone. My hair's always in the way here. On the collarbone. I don't think I deserve £1 million. And you go under the arm. Just kind of, if you wear a bra, just kind of where your bra kind of sits. £1 million is way too much to ask for. And then the final one is just here, kind of on the crown of the head. I cannot even imagine that that would ever happen for me. And then you can just keep going through the tapping points, saying whatever feels like it's coming up for you, all those things that you're currently aware of. And as you go, you might find stuff comes up for you that you are not yet aware of, and that's okay. Don't judge it as you say it. Don't try and be perfect with it. Just allow it all to flow out of you. And what this does is, by doing this before you've created the vision board, it allows you to create it with a real kind of, if you like, a cleaner energy. So that's step 2. Clear some of the resistance that you already know is there. Step 3, actually create the vision board, do the thing. And again, I'm going to be at the end sharing with you a few little tips on what you can include in your vision board. But for now, trust and just know that it's enough to trust your creativity. You can do it like electronically, you can print out pictures, you can go really old school and get some magazines and do some cutting and some sticking. It really doesn't matter. You can include words, phrases, pictures, images. It doesn't matter. Really allow your creativity to flow and allow it to be a real authentic reflection of you. So if I'm creating a vision board, you can bet your bottom dollar that there are going to be some pretty pink flowery things in there, because that's what brings me joy. And remember that you want your vision board to bring you joy. You want to look at it and feel excited. You want it to feel like it's you. Like it's your dreams in like physical form. So pick whatever you're going to put on there. Make sure that it really accurately represents you, who you are, and what you love. So that is step 3. Step 4, we're going back to some resistance clearing. So notice what comes up for you. As you're creating it, pay attention to the thoughts and feelings that you're having. Because again, if you're thinking, this is never going to happen, I don't believe that a vision board can actually work, or who am I to ask for this, 6 months round the world trip, or who am I to think that passive income could actually work for me, or how would I ever create passive income? All of that kind of thing, whatever's coming up for you, again, pay attention, because we don't want to get caught in this cycle of toxic positivity, nor do we want to be manifesting more of unhelpful, worn out subconscious patterns. We want to become aware of them so we can clear them. And your conscious thoughts are like your guidepost. They're like your little breadcrumb trail to what's actually going on for you on a subconscious level. So it's really useful to pay attention to what comes up when you're creating it, but also when you look at it as well. Because what we want is for your vision board to evoke those feelings of, like I said, excitement, of joy, of gratitude, all those wonderful emotions, certainty, faith, all of those, this anchoring in, this feeling of knowing that it's yours and that you can surrender it, knowing that the universe has your back and is going to put all the pieces in place. If when you look at your vision board, it evokes any other feelings other than that, then go back to step 2 and do some more clearing, because again, we're layers. So you release one layer and then it's sort of another one, sort of you become aware of the next layer. Don't panic. Doesn't mean you're broken, that you'll never manifest it, that it's too difficult. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just you're opening yourself up to receive. And when to open yourself up to receive, you have to crack yourself open. You have to literally shine a light on all that deeply held resistance so that you can clear it, so that you can let it go. That is what allows you to receive. And the more resistance you can clear, the quicker you will manifest. Now, that's not to say, by the way, that, again, no need to be perfect here. We don't need to get rid of all of the resistance all in one go, or even all of the resistance before you can receive. We just need to let some of it go. Okay, step 5. What inspired action does your vision board, or what action does your vision board inspire you to do? Because again, we have to get into inspired action in order to be able to manifest. So yes, we need to be aligned. The mindset and the energy needs to be aligned. But then what happens is you receive inspiration, guidance, intuitive nudges, all of those wonderful, lovely things which are guiding you to your next aligned action. So going back to our £1 million example, going back to that, you might sort of look at it and then suddenly you have an idea for an amazing a book that, you know, all of a sudden the whole story pops into your head. Or maybe after you've been looking at it for a while, somebody comes up to you and offers you the opportunity to join, to become part of a business opportunity. Or maybe you get the idea for a product that you could sell, or a new service that you could offer, or a new way that you could work with customers that you've already got. Or maybe you suddenly become aware of a problem that actually you are the most perfect person to be able to solve. And again, this is where a lot of people come unstuck, I suppose, when it comes to manifesting, because they think if they set the intention to manifest £1 million, what's going to happen is they're going to win the lottery. And almost that's the only way that they can imagine that that money would come to them. What the universe is doing is, as you open yourself up, the universe is guiding you to the way that you can manifest that in the highest and best way for all. And the highest and best way is for you to use your innate skills, your talents, the things that only you can do, to be driven by your purpose and your passion, to serve in some way, to contribute, to create something, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter what that is. It doesn't matter whether you are the most amazing baker, or whether you're an artist, or whether you're a writer, or whether you create a physical product, or whether you offer a service or some sort of healing or coaching, or it really doesn't matter. You will be guided to use your, like I said, your purpose, your passion, your skills, to create in the highest and best way, to serve in the highest and best way, to do your, I suppose, your part to contribute to the world. And in return for that, you are then opening yourself up to receive the abundance of the universe, to receive that money as an energetic exchange But this is, again, like I said, this is where so many people come unstuck, because they kind of think, well, you know, the only way that I'm ever going to receive that money is literally to win the lottery. Now, that's not to say that you can't or you wouldn't win the lottery, but you're closing yourself down to one really, really narrow way that money can come to you. Whereas there are actually literally a million different ways that you could receive £1 million. And when you open yourself up to that and take action on the inspired ideas as they come up, then you put yourself on the path to that manifestation. Again, a lot of people think they have to know the how, they have to know the full path before they can really start. But actually, when you just start, when you take inspired action, when you do the thing, then, like I said, you're putting yourself on the path. You open yourself up to receive the next inspired idea, the next guidance, to make the next connection, to be opened up to another opportunity. And so it goes on until you have manifested what it is that you desire. And a lot of people think that, you know, manifestation only counts if it's kind of arrived in some way that feels really magical. And often it does feel magical, but sometimes the best way for you to manifest things, particularly if, you know, you want a car or a holiday or, you know, a new wardrobe, a new home, any of that kind of thing, the best way for you to manifest it is to manifest the money to be able to go and buy it. That's literally the easiest way to manifest things, is to have the money to go and buy them. So some things will definitely, you'll put them on your vision board and they'll come into your life in the oddest way. So, for example, a couple of years ago, I said to my husband, my sofa makes me feel poor, because it had been given to me secondhand when I'd had to move out of like my home with my ex-husband. Our sofas didn't fit. Somebody had given it to me. It was lovely. It's wonderful. A lot of fond memories of that sofa. Gave birth on it. Wonderful thing. But then all of a sudden I was like, oh, it's making me feel really poor. And it wasn't the fact that it had been free or secondhand. It was none of that. I think it was the fact that it had been given to me and I hadn't chosen it. So I was like, I really wanted to manifest a new sofa. I want a new sofa. So again, knowing this, that it was probably, you know, the quickest way was to manifest the money. So I was having a look round. What would we like? How much was it going to cost? Blah, 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 blah. Somebody then gave us a brand new 3-piece suite thing. 4-seater sofa, 3-seater sofa, and an armchair. Also the people who gave us our dog as well. Just completely randomly. They had this sofa, they bought it, they then moved house, and my husband was doing some work from them, and they were like, oh, you don't know what we can do, you couldn't help us like move this sofa, could you? And he was like, yeah, we need a new sofa. They were like, fabulous, just take it. So don't close down to the idea that things might be gifted to you or they might arrive magically, but also don't think that that's the only way that they can come to you. So really be open to, again, there are hundreds of channels that are available to you, that are open to you to allow you to receive whatever it is that you desire. Your job is to simply be open to them, to know that these channels are available to you, and your job is to not to, before you get down the road, say, right, this is the one. This is the one channel that this particular thing is going to flow to me, which is what a lot of people do when it comes to manifesting. They're like, right, I know I want this and it's going to come via this and I want it by this date. And it's like, whoa, that's like all of it's just collapsed right down. So keep yourself open that you might receive something. It might be gifted to you. You might find something in a sale so it costs a lot less and you can get it a lot quicker than you thought. Somebody might offer to pay for you. You might manifest a load of money through your business or an unexpected way that then allows you to pay the full price for it, whatever. But just know that there are many channels of the way that things can manifest into your life. Okay, so that was step 5. What inspired action does it inspire? And step 6 clear the resistance. You will notice that 3 out of these 6 steps have been around clearing resistance, and that is with good reason. That's the expression. Because what's stopping you from manifesting anything you desire is not that you haven't yet set up a vision board, is not that it's not available to you, it's not that you don't deserve it or you're not worthy of it or it's too big. It's none of that. It is that you have some resistance that has stopped you from setting the intention that you want to receive it, from aligning your energy with it, and or from taking the inspired action that will open those channels to allow you to receive it. And it's perfectly possible that the block is in just one of those. It's also perfectly possible that it's in 2 and maybe even all 3. So this is why so much of the work that we've done today, or that I'm suggesting that you do, is around clearing resistance, and why so much of the work that I do with my clients is all around clearing resistance, because that is literally all that is stopping your epic life from manifesting. It's not that like I said, it's not that it's too big or you don't deserve it or it's not possible or it's not available or that the market's saturated. None of that. Absolutely none of that at all. It is that there is some resistance in you that is energetically repelling it. Imagine that as soon as you set an intention, the universe starts to work, and it's all being held for you in energetic escrow. It's all there waiting for you. You literally just have to start to take down the barriers that you have to receiving it. That means understanding the stories that you have around yourself, your self-belief, your self-worthiness, what you think is possible for you, what you think you can do, what you think you're capable of, what you think is available to you, all of that kind of thing, together with the more general stories that you might have around what it means to be rich, to be successful, to be able to manifest large amounts of money, to be able to manifest anything at all. All of those kind of stories are what you really need to become aware of so that you can start to change them. Because the success of your vision board is not based on how it looks. What it's based on is the energetic shift that it helps you to create. That's what all the manifesting and metaphysical tools that we use all do. They all help us to create an energetic shift from where we are now to be able to open up and receive what it is that we desire. And that energetic shift is all around, like I said, believing in yourself, believing that you're worthy, that you deserve it, and learning what it would feel like to have that thing, because that's the energy that really speeds it up and allows you to receive. How does it feel to have that thing? And even if you're just giving it your best guess, so going back to our £1 million, if you've not had £1 million before, then you're not going to know exactly how it feels to have £1 million because you've never had it. But you can have a really good guess at what it would feel like if you looked in your bank account and saw £1 million there. You know, that you can really, like, you know, allow yourself to expand on that, all those feelings that it would bring up in you. So whilst you don't know exactly, you can always have a really good guess at it. And trust me, you will get close enough. But then it's about staying there for long enough, holding that space. And what I mean is that bit in between where you set the intention and when it manifests into your life, there's often a time lag. And that time lag is the bit where the universe is rearranging all the pieces, and, you know, giving you all the guidance and all the inspiration so that you can get into action. But a lot of people in that space, they panic. They go back to the old stories of it's not possible for me, I don't deserve it. See, I knew I couldn't manifest anything and it's totally full of rubbish, doesn't work for me. Here's my beautiful vision board, nothing's happened. All right, I did have the idea to do that business, but still nothing's happened. It's not manifested. I'm giving up, right? And that's what a lot of people do in that space. And so much of the work that I do is about helping helping women to hold that space, to have that faith and belief in themselves, so that in that lag period, there isn't this sense of panic. There isn't this retreating back into the old belief systems. There is that knowing, that certainty of it's happening, it's on its way, the universe has my back. This is just part of the process. Yes, it feels a little bit uncomfortable right now, but I'm okay with that because I know that discomfort is actually my growth. That's how I'm expanding, and I'm so excited to receive at this new level. So that's, again, a lot of the work that I do. Okay, so let's go into the final bit of this. We are going to talk really quickly about actually creating a vision board as well. What I want to say is, as I said earlier, you are immensely creative. You don't need me to tell you how to actually create one. But what I can share with you is some little tips that are going to make it that little bit more magnetic and going to keep you in that place where you look at it and you pay attention to it, because that's what I really want you to do as well. I want you to pay attention to it and allow it to evoke those wonderful feelings of having faith, certainty that we've just spoken about. So the first thing is, let your creativity go. Just don't stress it. Don't worry about it. Let it all go and have fun. The more fun you have with any part of the manifesting process, the quicker the universe will respond to that, because you're higher up on the emotional scale, you're vibrating at a higher frequency. So have fun, enjoy it. That's the first bit. The second thing is to infuse your vision board with things that you have that you're already grateful for. Because what that does is you will look at it and look at the thing that you have that you're already grateful for. It will inspire those feelings of gratitude, which will then, if you like, permeate into your desires. So what you're doing is, in a sense, you're kind of hacking this ability to feel grateful for things that you don't yet have. So like feeling grateful in advance. So for me, one of the things I always do is, in the middle of any gratitude board, any vision board, is to put a picture of my family right in the middle, because I'm immensely grateful for them. They bring me a lot of joy, a little bit of stress, but mainly a lot of joy. So for me, that's one thing that works really well, but it can be anything. So you can include pictures of things that you have already manifested, so that you can remind yourself as well that you're an amazing manifester, because look at what you've already manifested. And what you're doing is you're merging in your mind what you've already manifested and what you've already got with what you desire. And your mind can't tell the difference. It doesn't know the difference between something imaginary and something real. So you've probably experienced this normally in a, in inverted commas, negative way. Maybe if you've been thinking about something that's been really sad, that happened a while ago, but you still find yourself like really upset about it. You find yourself worrying about something and it still invokes that kind of fight or flight response in you. What we want to do is use that, but in a way that is going to call in what we desire. So we're wanting to merge the two together. So that's the next thing. The third thing that you can do is to include a little love note from your future self. Now, I really love this as an idea. Put yourself in the place where you've already manifested the thing that you desire, and then write a little note to yourself as you are now. What do you want you to know? What's the thing? Like, what would you say to yourself? Like, you know, stay the distance. This is happening. I'm so grateful that you didn't give up. So grateful that you persevered. Like, yeah, don't give up. Keep it positive if you can. I'm so grateful that you carried on, that you had the resilience to continue. What is the one thing that your future self is going to say to you when this thing has manifested? How are you going to feel about the scary and out of comfort zone action that you took as yourself now to allow your future self to have the things that she has that you were just desiring. Write that little note and read it to yourself. Really feel how proud of yourself you're going to be, because that's huge. Like, we don't often spend much time thinking about how proud of ourselves we are. We often look externally for that kind of validation, but actually we can already give it to ourselves. We can already feel those things now. So, and it's a great way to keep yourself on track because it's a note from you. So include a little love note. I can't remember what number we're on. Next thing, include some affirmations. And again, the best way to create an affirmation for yourself is to pay attention to the resistance that came up for you. So whatever resistance came up for you in steps 2, 4, or 6, what would you like to feel instead? I am enough. I am worthy. I deserve this. That's a great one to put on there. I deserve this. Often that in itself brings up all sorts of resistance that's like ready to be cleared. I deserve this. I am worthy of it. I am enough. Whatever those that affirmation is for you. But like I said, the best ones to create are the ones that will replace the resistance that comes up for you. So pop some affirmations on it as well. And the final thing is to not just to create one vision board. You can absolutely do that, but to create lots of visual representation in lots of different parts of your life, so that you're constantly being bombarded with images of what you are manifesting. So this could look like creating a screensaver on your phone, because how many times in a day do you pick your phone up? Creating a new wallpaper for your laptop. You can have an actual vision board somewhere. You could put images and affirmations on the inside of cupboard doors, on the inside of your wardrobe, around your mirror is another great place, on the back of the toilet door, because we all have to relax when we're in there, so you may as well be focused on something positive while you're doing that. Basically, anywhere that you go quite regularly, pop some visual representation of what you desire in those places, and really allow yourself to see them. So don't just put them up and then it's really easy to just, when you see it, kind of put yourself in that place of just spend like 30 seconds, stop, look, and then feel how it feels to have it. That's what we want. We want it to like spark those positive feelings that are going to align your energy and allow you to receive. This is what we want. This is the desired outcome, if you like, for the vision board, is for it to evoke those feelings. And you can even take it one step further. So another one of my favorite manifesting tools is to go on a positive rant. So how often, again, have you thought of something and then your mind has spiraled into some overthinking drama around, whatever it is. And before you know it, you're really cross with somebody about something that they haven't even done yet. And you're just like, well, we want to use that, but in reverse. We want to go up. So you see the picture of your vision board, and then out loud or in your head, you're like, I am so excited that this has manifested. I can't actually believe the way that it happened, but here it is. Here is my £1 million. I'm so grateful to the universe. I'm so grateful to myself. I took that inspired action. It wasn't always easy, but I did it. And now here it is. And it just feels amazing. It's so much better than I could ever have imagined. And I just feel blessed and grateful and expanded and excited, and I cannot believe that this is my life. And I did it. I actually did it. I didn't let the doubt in. I didn't let the resistance in. It's mine, and I am so happy. So you take that and you spend 30 seconds or a minute or 90 seconds positively talking about this thing that is now yours. And again, you're layering. So you're layering the vision board with different ways that it can really help you to align that energy, to call it in. And this is what makes you magnetic, because the vision board itself is not magnetic. The journaling that you do, the scripting that you do is not magnetic. The the EFT is a little bit magical actually. But what that does is it unleashes the magic within you, because the magic is already there. It's already within you. Everything that you need to be able to manifest anything that you desire is already within you. It's just about believing that and allowing yourself to align with the having it, allowing yourself to believe that it's possible for you, deciding that you deserve it, that you're worthy of it, that this is going to be part of your future, and then giving yourself permission to let go of everything that doesn't serve you, to doing that work, to really clear that resistance so that you can unlock the magic that is within you, because it's already there. Like, the vision board's not magic, you are. It's just that the vision board is a great tool to help you tap into that magic. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That was everything that I wanted to cover. Look at that, almost exactly 60 minutes as well. Beautiful. So finally, if you have loved this, if this has opened you up to understanding or starting to understand yourself, the law of attraction, and manifesting in a different way, then I would love for you to come and join us inside Unlock the Magic of Manifesting. Now, this is a hybrid group coaching and membership program. When you join, you get lifetime access to all the content, lifetime access to all the live coaching. It's there to give you ongoing support. Because, like I said, I know that the magic is within you already. But what happens is, and I've done this in the past, you sign up for something, you sign up for a 6-week program or a 3-month program, and you get all super excited, you start to make changes and things start to happen, but then life happens. And sometimes that life happening is self-sabotage. Sometimes that life happening is just life happening. But what happens is you kind of slide back and you kind of start to forget, and it gets put on the back burner and kind of gets a little bit forgotten about. So what I really wanted to create, which is what I've done in Unlock the Magic, is to create a space where once you're in, you're in. It's there to always give you that practical help and support, the tools, all the resources, the trainings, but also to keep you in the energy, to keep you in the room so that you can hold the space. Because when you've set an intention, whether it's big or small, or whether it feels big or small to you, keeping your faith and certainty can feel really difficult sometimes, particularly if you're not surrounded by people who are like-minded. And maybe because there's still a load of people who think that, you know, manifesting is a load of woo-woo nonsense. And that's okay. We don't have to change their mind, but it's so much easier if you have space, if you have the tools, the resources, the support that's going to help you to tap into your own magic. Because every single one of the women in there, and this is an ever-growing community, is amazingly bright, intelligent, capable woman who has a real purpose, and every person in there is completely different. Their desires are different, their purpose is different, but they all are there because they want to be able to co-create their ideal life and business with more ease. They're done with the struggle and the frustration, and they just want to get out of their own way and have that support, that ongoing support and accountability, and to be surrounded by, like I said, by like-minded people and to get my help as well, because we all need that external perspective sometimes to help us shine a light on our own stories, our own blocks, our own resistance, and how we can clear them, because you can't always do it for yourself. You can't see the wood for the trees. I have a coach for that very reason. I'm really good at helping my clients to get to the bottom of what's going on with them. But if I try and self-coach, I get there, but it takes me ages. Whereas somebody else can see it almost instantly and be like, yeah, this is what you're doing. Right, okay, cool. Speeds up the process. And that's what we want, isn't it? You know, I don't know about you, I've waited long enough. I'm 40 now. I've waited long enough for my ideal life to come along. So this is all about collapsing the timeline so that you can manifest it quicker and easier and start living the life that you have always deserved to live, but start living it now. So if you want to know some more information about that, then there's going to be a link in the email you got with this replay, or that you will get if you're with me live with the replay. So go ahead, have a look. I've left the pricing at last year's pricing just for this weekend. The doors are only going to be open until Valentine's Day, until the end of the day on Monday. So this is the perfect Valentine's gift, because it's all about self-love. So if this calls to you, if you want to continue this work, then do come and join us over in that space. Okay, that's it. The final thing to say is thank you for spending your time and energy with me. I hope that this has helped you to understand, like I said, vision boards, the law of attraction, and your role in manifesting. And do keep me updated. Send me pictures of what you create and how they make you feel. I would absolutely love to see.